Kelly here with Kelly's Circle Life with another magical video for you today. So today we're going to be making a protection jar, and magical jars of all sorts are really good to make and use because they are small and portable, and you can, even if you're in a place where magic is not maybe accepted, or people don't know about your magical pastimes and your witchcrafting, then you can put the little jar out and it just looks like decoration because you just have kind of normal stuff in it. And that's another good thing, that most of the time you can make protection jars or any kind of magical jars out of things that you already have around your house. And today we're going to use several tools and things that are very protective, things that you can find pretty easily but have very good protective qualities. And so we're going to use this, make the jar, bless the jar, and kind of charge the jar and let it be there for protection. So I have some to start out with. I just have some incense going here just to clear the space to get ready to work, so that we're just bringing in the energy that we want to bring into this magical working and this protection jar. So to start with, I have this jar. It's just a little, it's a used spice jar. So used up the spice, took the labels off, and now I can turn it into my protection jar. So the first thing I'm going to put in is some salt, and this is just some pink Himalayan salt, and this kind of coarse salt. I'm going to put that in the bottom, and you can use as much as you want, fill it up as much as you want with the salt. But salt has always and still is a very protective tool to use, and you can find salt, of course, just about anywhere, and you can use any kind of salt that you want. You can use this is just what I happen to have around, so I had this pink salt, so I have that around, and you could use regular sea salt, you could use black salt, you could use just any salt that you have around your house. But salt is very protective, and this is you can also just put salt around your house in different places. Keep it in a little bowl like this around in different places, and just having a little bowl of salt, and making sure that it's put safely if you have children or pets or anything like that. But it's great to have around, and you can use it for lots of different magical workings, and use it in cooking. So in the kitchen, and if you're a kitchen witch, you probably already do. So we have our salt. I'm going to add 3 different kinds of herbs and spices, and the first thing I'm going to add is some St. Johnswort. And this is St. Johnswort, and it's a dried St. Johnswort. And I'm using this because it is a very powerful protective herb. So it's very great to use in any kind of protective spells. And I'm going to just put kind of a little layer on top of my salt and put this very protective herb in. And so we've got the St. Johnswort there, and it's protective, and it's very helpful in keeping evil at bay. So using this protection, you can use it to protect your space, protect yourself, protect your family, protect your home, protect your workspace, protect you energetically. So all of these things that we're putting in there are going to combine all these different protective qualities and make a nice protection jar. So the next one I'm going to put in, the next herb I'm going to put in is thyme. Now thyme clears negative energy, so that's really good for a protection jar, and it also elevates magic. So it's going to elevate the magic that I'm doing with this. So I've got my St. Johnswort down, and I've got the thyme on top of it. So I'm building these layers of protection. Now the next one is I've got 9. This 9 is 3 times 3, protective number. And this clove keeps out ill will and is good at protecting your home. So even if you have this protection jar in your home, you can have it there, or it'll also protect anywhere else that you feel home. So I've got my 9 cloves in there like that. So I've got the salt, St. Johnswort, the thyme, and the cloves. So next I'm going to add a crystal. And this is a black tourmaline, and black tourmalines are very famous for being protective stones. They're great for you to have on a necklace and to wear around, to carry in your pocket, to carry with you wherever you are going, to have one in your car, to have black tourmaline in your home. And it's just, I have several pieces of black tourmaline, and several pieces just around my house in different places, because it is a very protective stone, and it is very good at protecting against any kind of psychic attacks, and dispels negative energy, which is something that we always want to make sure that we're all just bringing in the energy that we want to bring in and nothing else. So this black tourmaline I'm going to put in, but first I'm going to anoint this. I'm going to use some of this anointing oil, and I just made this from some cedar wood essential oil, and I mixed it in with some almond oil. So it's a diluted cedar wood oil, so it's safe as long as you're okay with cedar, and as long as you're okay with the almond oil. If you need to use something else, there's all kinds of different oils that you can use to dilute the essential oil. So I'm going to have this. I'm just going to place just a drop on the black tourmaline. I'm going to use this again later, but I'm just going to put a drop on here because cedar, many of you might have cedar closets or cedar chests, and the wood is very protective, and so this is great. The cedar, and it smells good. The cedar essential oil is good to add another layer of protection. So I'm going to add this into my jar. So I have my anointed black tourmaline in there, and so I'm just going to add a couple of more things, and the last thing I'm going to put inside the jar is this pentagram. So I've drawn this on a piece of parchment paper, and I'm going to anoint this with the cedar wood oil as well. So I'm just going to put a little drop on the paper and let it soak in, and so it's got this cedar protection now as well. And you could do 5 points if you had a bigger piece. You could do all 5 points. You could do each corner, however you wanted to do it. You could make a bigger piece and do the corners and then roll it up. But all I'm going to do here is just anoint my pentagram, because the pentagram is a very protective symbol. So it is symbolic of the earth, and having that grounding and having that protection. So it's a very good symbol to add to this. Now, if you're using this and you're using it for yourself, and you want to be able to see the pentagram, you could always just put it in like this, and you can see the pentagram there. If you want to have it somewhere where you just maybe want to have it like this, and you don't really want anybody to see it, you can just roll it up, put it in something else, put some more paper around it, but fold it up so that you can't see it anymore, and put it in there. And I'm just going to fold mine in half and put it in there like this. So this is my protection jar. So I've got I've got the salt, I've got the St. Johnswort, I've got the cloves, the thyme, the black tourmaline with the cedar wood oil, the parchment paper with the pentagram with the cedar wood oil, and now I'm ready. I'm going to close it up, and I'm going to put a black candle on the top. So I'm going to let the black candle burn all the way down, and so I'm going to make sure that I'm watching very carefully to make sure that I let the candle, just put some wax on the top. So I've got my candle, I've got some wax on the top, and I'm just going to put my candle right there on the top, and I'm going to let my candle burn down. And this is kind of a big candle, but this is the only black candle I had, and so I wanted to use black because black is banishes negative energy, banishes evil, and it's a protective color. So I have this on my jar, and I'm going to let it and watch it carefully and let it burn down. And if you have a bigger candle and you can't watch the whole thing, just make sure that you snuff it out, and when you come back and you can actually watch it burn down, then you let it burn down. Now, as the candle is burning, I'm going to do a protection spell. So I'm going to recite this protection spell 3 times with my candle burning. And this will charge the jar and let it know that that I'm asking for protection from the jar and all the tools and materials and things that I put inside, and bring forth the magic from all of these things that I put inside. So I have my spell, and it says, "Protect me, spirits of this time, as I speak this enchanted rhyme. Surround me with love and light, and empower me with peace and might. Protect me, spirits of this time, as I speak this enchanted rhyme. Surround me with love and light, and empower me with peace and might. Protect me, spirits of this time, as I speak this enchanted rhyme. Surround me with love and light, and empower me with peace and might." So this is the protection jar. Let's put it up on something so we see it. Really. So this is my protection jar, and I'm going to, like I said, let the candle burn down. And when I'm done and the candle is burned down, if there's any wax on it, I'll still leave the wax there. And then when I'm done, I have a piece of twine that I'm not going to do it now because it's burning, but I'm going to have this piece of twine, and I'm just going to tie it around when it's done, and so that I know that it has been charged and that it's ready to go, and all my protection has been there, and I've asked the spirits to bring protective energy into the jar. So that today is a protection jar. And like I said, jars, these kinds of jars, you can make jars for different things, and later on, hopefully I'll be making a few more different kinds of jars, and you can see making some, have some jars that are smaller, and you can put different things in there for, you can use for creativity, you can use a money jar for a money spell, you can use a jar for a love spell, and that can be, bringing love to yourself and bringing love to a relationship, or things like that. So, and these are all ones that you can, that look nice, that you can put around your house, and not really let people know, if you don't want to, that you're doing any kind of witchcraft. So that today is my protection jar, and if you enjoyed this video and you want to do some deeper magical work, I have the Brew and Moon Coven open on my Patreon page, and there's you can join just the community and get some live events and some workshops, and you can join the Coven, the exclusive Coven, which is only open to 13 people at a time. And it is a much more in-depth sacred space for you to practice your witchcraft in a safe space, and be able to learn more witchcraft, more modalities like astrology and Reiki and things like that. So go on over and check that out and join the Patreon page there, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.